Now, 6 minutes after 8 o'clock in Jamaica. It means, therefore, that where Miss Charles is right now in the Big Apple, it's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock, as they're 1 hour ahead. I'd like to welcome you right now to Beyond Borders. And this is, of course, sponsored by Vivid Mortgages Incorporated. And this is where we get a chance every Thursday morning to tell you how you could own property and investment property in the United States of America, whether or not you have a U.S. visa or even if you don't have a social security number. And it has been creating a lot of excitement, this new feature. We're getting calls. People are calling us, and I'm hearing that persons are also calling Vivid Mortgages Incorporated in New York City as well to get as much information as they can. My very special guest then, once again, is Nasancia Charles, who is here with us again. Good morning, Nasancia. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Richie. How are you?
I'm doing well, actually. Having a wonderful morning.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. It seems like somebody told you, huh?
I mean, you're Richie, of course.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
Making no today's your birthday.
All right. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate that. So here we are on my birthday with you, sharing some space and sharing information with the listeners. You know, I wanted to start today by doing a little bit of a recap on what happened last week, what we spoke about when we highlighted the whole matter of the foreign nationals loan product that you have at Vivid Mortgages Incorporated. The big idea is no visa, no credit, and even if you have no social security number, it's not a problem. Can you just share a couple of the highlights of that particular facility before we get into the meat of the matter for this week's program?
Okay, so here at Vivid, we do offer this product, and it is to close the gap when it comes to investing in the U.S. So Jamaicans or foreign national, no matter where you are in the whole world, you can purchase a rental income property here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to be a rental income property, and I want for that to be emphasized, right?
Yes. So it got to be a rental income property. It cannot be a primary resident, and it cannot be a fix and flip. Mm-hmm. It got to be a rental income that will cover the mortgage payment and have residual income coming in to cover any other expenses.
Okay.
And obviously make a profit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And this you have been doing for a long time. You know the market well, and this can be in any state whatsoever, right?
Yes, so you can do it all in 50 states?
or more for that matter.
More, yeah.
So just to recap, no income or employment verification required, no credit report or reference letters needed, no housing history required, no visa required, and then there is the matter of the down payment, which is what we're focusing on today, where that can even come in the form of a gift. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, yes, go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to the down payment, which is 25%, so that could be a gift from a family member or a friend. So that kind of relieves the pressure of the investor or the person that's looking to start out as an investor. They could borrow money from friends or family, or just merge everything together and be able to use that 25% as down payment.
So it is 25%. That is the down payment, right? And that is of the
Correct.
Of the value of the purchase price then of the unit. Is that correct?
Yes. So whenever you're submitting an offer on a property,
yes,
you factor in the 25%. So what I would recommend anyone to do if they're looking to invest in the U.S., they shop around, they understand what market they want to get in and the price that they are comfortable in starting out as a new investor or a seasoned investor. Based on that, they're able to calculate their 25%. The reason why I'm focusing on the 25% is because the closing cost, which is an additional, could be 3 to 5%, that could be merged into the loan through a method of cost through a method called seller's concession. But what we really focus on is the 25%.
And let me see. For example, family members can gift the amount to help out another family member. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So family members, friends, you guys, they could come together and put all that money in the bank account that we will use to verify that asset.
Okay. Listeners, from time to time, you'll hear us ask questions so that Nasancia can repeat and maybe give a different perspective, because we want you to get all the information that you need. So again, how can someone figure out exactly how much they need in dollar terms when it comes to the down payment?
Okay, so let's say I'm in New York, but again, other states are way cheaper. So I can go based on the average two-family home in New York is going to be around $1.2 million.
Yes. So
if you're thinking about buying a two-family house here in New York, you will need around $300,000 in down payment. That's what you will need up front. And as far as the rental income, the average rent here in New York for a 2 or 3 bedroom is between $2,500 to up to $3,777 per month. The reason why I say $3,777 is because you can get tenants that are being sponsored by the government. So the government pays a higher amount in rent. So that's why the highest for a 3-bedroom could be $3,777 per month. Depending on the location and amenities also. The rental income can really help cover the mortgage expenses. So that's why I'm going with that number, where if you get like a 2 or 3 bedroom, add in up 3,707 times 2, that could cover your mortgage. And I won't quote average mortgage number or payment at the moment. The reason is the interest rate right now is going down. So
actually, that's good news.
The Feds cut it yesterday. And so being that they cut it, all pre-approvals now have to be readjusted because the interest rate carries more weight than in qualifying a person and also having them feeling comfortable with their monthly payment.
Okay. So again, is it better then to go for a single family home or a multi-family property? And tell us why.
It depends on the investor, but for me personally, I'm not speaking on behalf of Vivid. I'm not speaking on behalf of a realtor, but I'm speaking on behalf of me to make it clear.
Yes.
For me personally, I recommend a 2-family or 3-family and start small. So start small, like either going upstate or go down south, just to test out the market and get like a 2, 3, or 4 unit. That way you can leverage the rental income of one unit or another unit to cover the expenses instead of just depending on one unit to cover the whole expenses and mortgage.
That makes a lot of sense. Just hearing you say it. So if we're using the example of a 1.2 million US dollar valued property, your customer would need to have in the region of 300,000 up front. And you're saying that the rental income, if it's a 2-family property, it can in fact allow them to cover the mortgage, and in some instances have a little left over. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And that's why I recommend, as again, for me, get a 2-family or 3-family, because that's residual income, and that's more rental payments coming in that will cover the mortgage, and then it's all about leverage. So if one tenant stop paying, the other tenant is going to cover some of the expenses, and all of it is not going to fall on you.
All right. So expand for me now in terms of who are you targeting and who you'd be expecting. I know that you've been getting calls since we started this feature, and persons have been walking into your location, which you'll share with us in a little while from now. But who are you really targeting with this particular facility?
I'm targeting everyone. It could be a first-time home buyer, but they're thinking about going the investment route, because this product only covers investment, not primary. So you could be a regular person that just want to dive or expand into the real estate market. You could be a seasoned investor. You could be a local investor in Jamaica and want to leverage what you have in Jamaica to expand here in the U.S., because the U.S. dollar carries more weight, and the turnaround sometimes is way faster. So being that the dollar in America carries more weight, so if you invest $300,000, there's most likely a greater chance for you to see a return on your investment, and it's a secure investment. It's a real investment that you can go and see and touch. If you're able to travel into the U.S., this is why you don't need a visa to purchase this property. But if you're able to travel in the U.S., you can see your investment, and then you can liquidate it by either do refinancing, home equity loan, or leverage that rental income property to purchase another one, because the end goal is to have equity in that property. And real estate is always going up. It's like one of the sure assets or investment that anyone can make.
Yeah, many people have become multimillionaires out of real estate investment. You have seen that, haven't you?
All the time, because imagine you got just $300,000. Where else can you risk it to put it into something and get a return on investment that fast and say, oh, now I just bought a $1.2 million house on a 40-year, because the mortgage can now go up to 40-year, on a 40-year fixed mortgage. That's my property. And then the average real estate market goes up 5 to 6% annually. So and then with this crazy market that's going, it's not like it's going down, it's going to go up. People always need somewhere to live.
Right.
So being that you own that rental income property, the property value is automatically going to keep going up. And I'm not to drag the topic out, but I can go based on example. I have one client, she purchased a house 2 years ago for $300,000. Now the house is worth $600,000.
Wow.
So in less than 3 years, she's already seen 100% in her investment. Because again, the demand is there. There's more buyers and less and not that much inventory in the market.
So, what does how can Vivid Mortgages Incorporated assist? I mean, do you provide personalized guidance to your clients to walk them through the process? Is the approval process a very long and drawn out situation, or is there speedy approval? Walk us through that.
So our turnaround is very fast because we have a team of processors that are in-house. So someone can just walk in. That's why we always recommend walk-in. And again, you're in Jamaica. We like to do it over Zoom. So we're all about relationship and interaction. So you can call us and request a Zoom call, and then we could do a face-to-face. And then the pre-approval is fast. As long as we can verify your asset, meaning how much money you got in your down payment. That's why we're in talks to connect with some local banks in Jamaica. That way we're able to verify assets locally, because all we need to see is the money. The pre-approval could be less than 12 hours. It could be there on spot. If you're in or if you're on it, and then we can verify everything the same time, you can get a pre-approval the same time.
Wow.
We've done it. Because as long as we can verify, as long as you have the proper paperwork. But then again, this type of purchase, it is really the property that will qualify, not really the buyer. We just want to make sure that you got that 25% down and a valid Jamaican passport. That's it.
And would you say that in some states, a two-family might not be even as much as 1.2 million, but you can get better deals? Like you mentioned, somebody who purchased for 300,000. In some states, you can get those kinds of deals, can't you?
Yes, like my client Marvin, I could use him as an example because he's the one that was on here last week.
Yes.
He bought a 2 unit for 250,000 upstate.
Oh.
So his out of pocket was less than $100,000, and he was but he owns a 2 family here in Queens.
Yes.
He bought it for like 900,000, but he's worth over $1 million now, like 1.2, 1.3.
Wow.
And then now he bought another house in Georgia, and he's in a sense of he's expanded, but he started off small by getting a small 2 family upstate in Schenectady for like $250,000.
Oh.
So again, Philly, you can get a 2 family for 150,000, 200,000.
Okay.
In Delaware, which is an up and coming state, you can get properties in Delaware. Again, you can buy 2 single family in Delaware for like 50, 80, 100,000.
Really?
So again, it depends. Yeah, Georgia, you can buy something in Georgia for $125,000.
I'm glad you made that distinction. I'm
Yeah.
glad, because you see, persons might be listening and are wondering, okay, I don't have 300,000 US dollars, but that is just an example that was being used by Miss Charles. And of course, if you want a less expensive property, many of them exist and are good properties in other states and in other areas of the United States of America. So don't let that be a deterrent. My goodness, time flies when we're having fun. I've got a lot of information from you this morning. How can you be contacted at Vivid Mortgages Incorporated, Nasantia?
Okay, so you can connect with us. We are on Instagram, very active. So you can reach out to us on Instagram. Our handle name is Vivid Mortgages, and you can just text us in our DM. We do respond. And our local office here in Queens is located at 21135 Jamaica Avenue, Queens Village, New York. Zip code 11428, and our phone number is 718-831-2800.
All right, let me see if I got all of that right. 21135 Jamaica Avenue in it's Queens Village in New York, right? That is
Correct.
the address, and the telephone number 718-831-2800. Is that correct as well?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Well, listen, I know that you'll be getting a lot of calls, and I hope that you get a lot of business out of these features. Thank you so very much for coming on this morning and sharing those bits of information. Very useful. And we thank Vivid Mortgages Incorporated for being our sponsors of Beyond Borders. Thank you, Nasansia. Have a great and productive day.
Thank you, Richie, and happy birthday.
Oh,
Enjoy your
thank you.
day.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. Bye-bye.